So thank you for joining me today. I'm Lisa. Today we are talking posture. All right, and it's maybe not the sexiest fitness topic, but it's something that affects all of us all throughout our day. It's one of those things that can help us move with ease and grace without having to think much about it, or something that makes us feel very achy and tired and stiff. Our bones like to be aligned, just like you see those skeletons hanging in classrooms, where everything is stacked nicely on top of the other. The joints are able to move the way they're designed to in the joints, and the muscles don't have to work so hard to maintain that. The problem is when we have a book or our computer or our phones, and now we are here. This is no longer that nice stacked posture, and our muscles have to work a lot harder to hold us here. So if you're like me and you have a larger head, you might be in that 12-pound range. Maybe you're smaller in that 10-pound range, but we have essentially a bowling ball stacked on this nice slender column. For every time we start to bring our head forward, that weight, as far as our muscles are concerned, exponentially increases. So by the time we get out here, our poor neck feels like it's holding a 30-pound ball. Then at the end of the day, we start to feel this tension, right? We get this tension headaches at the back of the neck. We feel our shoulders aching. And you might catch yourself walking by the mirror and go, oh gosh, what's happening? So these are some simple, quick fixes you can do. All you need is a foam roller to get some movement back into your upper back, your chest, so that the posture can kind of naturally fix itself. All right. Sometimes people will, to address posture, just crank the shoulders back. And it's not helpful, right? Because now I'm in this like locked position where I can't really move from. I'd rather instead think about relaxing the shoulders. Notice when they come up towards your ears, let them relax and go back. But they should be easeful for me. They should be able to go in any direction without feeling like they're already jammed back as far as they can go. Now, if you do that and you notice that they're still further forward than you'd like them to be, that's where these tricks come in. So, I've got a foam roller. I'm gonna move the camera angle a little bit. So first one is going to be for your neck. This is something that you might do at the end of the day when you feel like you've got that tension in the back of the skull. We have our occiput comes down, and then it kind of slides down into this little notch and then meets our neck. I'm going to put that part of my neck on the roller. So it should feel comfortable, not much happening here. I'm just positioning the roller and my head so it's right on that little ridge. I'm feeling for pressing my upper lip back into the roller, and then gently rocking the head side to side. You can put more or less pressure into the roller depending how that feels for you. Just a little self-massage should feel soothing, should feel easy. You might stay here and read your book or watch some TV. Second move, not too different really, but this time we're going after our upper and our mid back. If you watched my video on the simple moves that I do every morning get out of bed to get ready for the day, then you've seen this one before. It's that good. I do it every day, at least once a day. If I'm at my desk a lot, it happens more often because I just feel stiff. I'm like, I can't move. This starts to bring some more ease, some more mobility into those areas. So moving that roller down off my neck and onto my rib cage. From here, I'm going to clasp my hands and use that to hold my head so I'm not straining my neck to do this. And then using the pressure of the pushing of my feet into the floor to lift my butt up. And then using the legs to glide that roller up towards my shoulders and then down my rib cage. So I'm going where I have ribs. I'm not going down onto my low back. It doesn't feel good to be directly on my spine. And especially first thing in the morning, or if you are feeling very tight, you might get a few pops and other noises as you go. And after I've done that and I feel pretty good here, I'm gonna let my butt come down to the floor. Roller is just at the base of my shoulder blade, kind of right below my armpit. And I'm still holding my head. I'm gonna inhale, and then exhale, pulling the ribs in so they don't pop open. And then letting my chest and shoulders go back over the roller. Now, yes, my head is moving too, but I want you, this isn't a head movement, it's a spinal movement. So we're extending the spine back over the roller and then curling back up. And can also add a little side to side movement. That always feels nice. And just explore. I'm going to move the roller down a little bit. Right, the vertebrae in our back aren't very large, so you don't have to move it several inches at a time. Just a small smidge of a movement. Again, holding my ribs in, head and shoulders go back, and curling right back up. And you might find 3 or 5 different spots that feel really nice. And then come off of there and see how that feels. Last one is a chest stretch, and this one is actually magical. This is one of those moves, it's not complicated, it doesn't take a lot of fancy equipment or work, but I see time and time again with my clients that come in very hunched over, and I show them this move, they do it at home, and the results are shocking. It, going from this position to looking 4 or 5 inches taller. So I love this one. I wish I did this every day. I'm not always so good about it, but when I do, I feel much better. When I don't, what I tend to feel is a lot of pain around my shoulder. I find myself doing this kind of move, or I get a tightness here in the chest. And that's actually what we're going after in this stretch. This is your pec minor is our main focus. It attaches to your rib cage and it comes out to the top of your arm bone. So anytime we are driving or holding something or having our arms out in front of us, it's involved. So when you find your posture constantly like this, that muscle gets short and tight. And when you try to bring the shoulder back, it doesn't want to go there. So we're going to use this move to stretch that open to see if we can get a little more relief. For this one, the roller is going to be parallel with my spine. There's a few different ways to come onto it. I like taking a seat right down here at the end and then using my hands to lay my spine down. And you might have to wiggle around a little bit to make sure that you get your head on the roller. If you need a little cushion there, add that. I'm going to do a quick bridge just to make sure that I'm on the center of that roller and I can feel my shoulder blades squeezing in on it. All right. If the balance feels tricky here, you can walk your feet a little wider apart, let your knees rest in on each other. Arms float up to the ceiling, palms facing your knees. And the hands are going to float back behind me towards the floor. Now, depending on how tight your chest is, that might be as far as you go. You might be able to get back a little further. You might be able to get to the floor. It does not matter. Going to where you can without resistance and without your ribs popping up. Right? We want to keep them down on the roller. Otherwise, we're defeating the purpose. From there, I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm creating a goalpost 90-degree bend in my arms. And right about there is where that stretch kicks in. The arms need to be bent to get this stretch. Take an inhale. Feel my ribs and my chest expand. And with the exhale, I'm letting gravity make my arms a little bit heavier. I'm not forcing it, just relaxing. And there's lots of good spots along the way as I bring those elbows down a little lower. Yep, feel that. Taking a breath, letting the arms relax. I'll usually start by doing a few slow circles, just feeling what that range of motion is, noticing if one side feels tighter than the other. And then I'll find a spot where it's really tight feeling and hang out there for as long as it's interesting. And you'll know when you find that spot that's tight, you'll feel it. Stay here, breathe 5, 10 breaths as long as you're still feeling like you're getting some reaction, right? The muscles are slowly willing to relax. Again, watching if the ribs stay down on the roller. The more those ribs draw in towards the roller and down towards your hips, the deeper that stretch is going to be. Roll off on there. It feels nice just to lay on your back for a moment after coming off that roller. Whatever you're on will instantly feel a little squishier, a little softer. And then come back up and just see how that feels. What we're going for is ease, where it feels like your body can align itself in a way that feels